All right, it's time. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, this is Uncle Omar coming back to you again with the antidote. Yes, the antidote, and the antidote is for what? The antidote is for stinking thinking. All right, good. You can call it that. The antidote is for toxic thinking, stinking thinking. This is the antidote because there's a whole lot of stinking thinking going on in our world right now that we don't even have common sense anymore because only a few people have the sense that makes things work out for us in this environment. Okay, today, one of my photographies, I found that somewhere, that is God in Arabic. It's God in Arabic. Allah. God in Arabic. Alright, so that's what that is. I felt like it might work with my shirt. My wife liked this shirt. I did not like it, but she said it's nice. Okay, I wear clothes for my wife sometimes. Do you? Anyway, let's go. Where are we at? Okay, we are let's get on point. We are in the 11th episode of The Antidote. The antidote is the vaccine for stinking thinking. And so we got this. We want to get something up here on board. How do we get that? How do I get this here? Let's see. Yes, I think you see it now. I think that's what's going on. I'm not sure yet. Let me see if I can share it properly. Because what I want to do is I want to make sure that we're up and running properly so that we won't be doing this in error. So, okay. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Great. I think I have it now, guys. Boom. All right. So, we're in Proverbs. Let's read what it says here. It doesn't have the title like normally they have, but it opens up like this. All right. It opens up saying that the Lord abhors dishonest scales. Let me preface this by saying this. There are several characters. Yes, there are several characters that we discovered while we were looking at this, and just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So the characters are that we're looking at are the Lord. He's the first person. He's the main character in this. It's the Lord, and then you got people who hate and people who love. So you got the hate, and it says that the Lord hates evil weights. He hates cheaters, but he loves honest people. So you got cheaters, scammers, schemers against righteous, honest, God-fearing, loving people, right? And so then you have the righteous against the wicked, right? So and they are, each one of them has benefits for either. If you want to be wicked, it has its own kind of things that come along with it, and if you want to be righteous, it has its own kind of things that come along with it. So I would say it's benefits for both. It's just whether you want to pay that price for it. All right. So now we're going to share the screen again to get to this scripture. And I got to go kind of fast because it's almost midnight over here. So I got to get this in. All right. So the Lord hates, abhors, disgusts him. He hates cheaters, scammers, schemers. That's what it means by the dishonest scale. The idea is that someone who's deceptive, they rig the scales when they weighing out stuff. You know, when people they say, okay, you want to get an ounce, but they got the thing rigged so that you only get 12, an ounce. I think it's a pound. I'm trying to remember the divisions. But at any rate, you said you're going to get an ounce, but they have it on like 3/4 of an ounce. And instead of giving you the whole ounce that you were trying to get, you only get 3/4 of an ounce, but you pay ounce price. That's what they call a dishonest scale, and God hates that. He hates scammers. He might even hate a lot of stuff that goes on in Nevada. It seems like a lot of people are getting tricked with those machines and all that kind of stuff. But I know the Lord hates a dishonest scale. But an accurate weight, something that's right on the money, something that you can say is intact, a whole weight, that the Lord is pleased with a proper stone that has not been tampered with, because it represents integrity of the process of the marketplace. So God really likes to, God doesn't hate on us having our businesses, not at all. In fact, the more we study this, we're going to see that a lot of the stuff that's in the scripture, especially in these proverbs, is about, you know, owning wealth and having and how to handle when you get some money, how to handle when you got the business. And this is a business minded aspect, because it said the Lord hates people who do business with weighted scales, dishonest scales, but He loves people who do business. It's His delight. It delights God to do that. But people who honestly do business right, and He blesses their businesses, right? There you go. Next one. Pride came, disgrace follows. Some version says pride comes before a fall, right? So pride. What is pride? Pride is presumptuousness, overconfidence. I know everything's gonna work out because I presume everything's gonna be this way. You're presumptuous, right? And overconfident. This term is from the root. All right, we don't have to go to the root part, but to be presumptuous, arrogant, imprudent is what this means. Now, let me see. Let me just go to presumptuous. We said presumptuous twice, and I'm not sure if we use that word enough that we know what presumptuous is. What is presumptuous? The dictionary says presumptuous is overstepping due bounds. Ooh, wow. As of propriety or courtesy. Taking liberties. You're just taking liberties to share their business, telling all this, putting this stuff on Front Street, overstepping your bounds. You all crossing over into their personal space and talking about stuff that you had no business talking about. That's presumptuousness. So it's basically saying that presumptuousness, overconfidence, and all that kind of arrogant, impudent stuff, that comes before you fall into disgrace. Before you come into a place where now you're ashamed for what happened to you. You're proud. You brought down. You're low now, right? But wisdom came with humility. So wisdom came. It does. The wisdom brings humility. If you're going to be wise, it brings humility. What is humility? Humility is, according to this, is what is it? Modest, humility, lowly, the lowly, modesty. Okay. Now, we don't use modesty much. What is modesty? That's one of them words that we hardly ever use. You know, I used to say, I want a modest woman. I want my woman to dress modestly. But then I realized when I was communicating that, some people just didn't know what it meant. Thank God my wife knew what it meant, but goodness gracious. Modesty. What is modesty? Ah, my goodness. It's the quality of not being too proud or confident about yourself or your abilities. Okay? Modesty. Not saying that you're not gifted or skilled, but not being too proud, too confident, overly boasting about yourself and ability. You know, propriety in dress. And then here's the other one. Modesty this is what I usually think about when I was talking about I want my wife, a woman, to be modest. It's propriety in dress, speech, and conduct. Well, let me go back, because I saw that I did not save modesty, and that's a word I need to save. I need to come back to that word, modesty. It's a good one. So modesty has to do with, first of all, not being too proud, not being arrogant, not boastful, and all that kind of stuff. Modesty also has to do with something, propriety, whatever this is, in dress, speech, or conduct. So then now that we save that, now we're going to look and see what this word propriety is. What is that? I don't even know if I'm saying that right. What is that word?
Propriety.
Okay, propriety, it is right. So what? Propriety is the quality or state of being proper or suitable. Yeah, so it's saying the quality or state of being proper or suitable in dress. The quality and state of being proper or suitable. What was that other word? I see. What was that word? In dress, right? In speech. Proper and suitable in speech. Proper and suitable in conduct. So propriety, this modesty is the idea of being proper and orderly in your dress, your speech, and your conduct, right? So let's put that back in the text right here. So they're saying this word right here that's translated as, let's see. Make sure we have it. Make sure I'm on the right word. There it is. After pride came disgrace, followed by wisdom came with humility. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them. Wow. So wisdom came with modesty. The integrity of the upright guides them. It becomes a vision. You know, I think it says, integrity and uprightness guides them, but crookedness and treacherous destroys them. I think I already looked up integrity. Let's see if we can find out what integrity is, since it is one of these words that seem that a lot is weighted on that. Integrity. 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 Do I have the word integrity? I want to have integrity in everything I do. I want to have integrity in my beings and doings and everything. So here's the word integrity. Let's see what I'm talking about. If I say I want to have integrity, I want to have a firm adherence to a code of especially moral and artistic value. So I want to have a firm adherence on what is right and wrong and be doing it. Yeah, I want to be incorruptible. I have integrity. You can't come and send me a bribe and I'm going to change my decision because you sent me a bribe. I want to have incorruptibility. You can't come and say, you know, let's do this scheme together and fool the people. No, I want to have integrity in my ministry. I want to have integrity in my marriage. I want to have integrity in my life in all aspects of it because I don't want to be corruptible, right? I want to have integrity means unpaired condition. I want to be sound. It's not an unimpaired condition. Nothing wrong with it. It's sound. I want to be a solid. I want to have so much integrity that people consider me a solid person. I want you to have that same thing. Yes, solidness. I want you to be that. I want you to be the kind of person who is incorruptible. And guess what? You are that if you walk in righteousness, right? This is what this whole thing about, my beloved. Look, here it is. The quality or state of being complete or undivided. Completeness. Integrity has to do with you're complete. You're not out there, you're not thirsty because you know everything, you got everything you need, you're complete. You got your wife, you got your family, you got, you got income coming in, you got, businesses, you're complete. You got, and that's not saying things make you complete, but integrity means that you're a whole being. You bring everything to the table. It means that you're a solid foundation. Integrity means that you're incorruptible. I just realized I didn't have my music today, but let's see. It seems like it's going okay without the music. I use it sometimes to keep me moving. All right, now, where we at with this? Okay, we were at what integrity, because we looked at. Now, it says here that the integrity of the upright guides them. So if you have integrity, you have this solidness, you have this core value, you have this, you're a solid dude, you're a righteous dude, right? It will guide you. It said integrity guides them. What does that mean? Guides them. Is that going to be two? This contrasts two lifestyles, affirming the value of integrity. All right. So what this is all about is affirming two lifestyles, affirming the value of integrity. We just talked about what integrity means: foundational, solid. Honest. Right. The whole. Right. The upright live with integrity. Those people who are righteous, they live with wholeness and soundness, and everything there. They're blameless. Nobody can say they doing something wrong because they're blameless. They're above reproach, right? And that integrity leads them in success and happiness. Because they're integral, people know they can do business with you. It leads them to success and happiness. Those who use treachery will be destroyed by it. We're going to look at treachery next, but right now we're looking at integrity. So integrity, it provides security for your wealth and your well-being, because if people can know, I can trust that dude. Omar said it, okay. Now, when I grew up, we had this saying like this: my word is my bond, and my bond is my life. And if I break my word, I break my life, and I'm not going to break my life because I love life, right? So it was that kind of thing. The word that we said, it meant something when we said something, right? So now we're in a time now that our word, a lot of people word don't mean something, but I want to maintain that. So if I say Omar is going to be here or Omar is going to do that, I'm going to do everything in my power to do that. And if I don't do that, I'm going to call and then make amends for that and make sure I get up on the next time, because integrity, solidness makes people want to do business with you. if everybody feel like you shifty and you underhanded, if you out, everybody feel like they feel a little funny around you, that's a problem. Because this is a communal thing that we have, and this thing called the beloved community, the global beloved community that I'm founding. I'm getting it on the ground and getting it running and rolling. Yeah, so that global beloved community is built on integrity. We have integrity with one another. We have solidness. We know that if our word is our bond and our bond is our life, right? So this is what that sets us apart from the unrighteous people. That sets us apart from the people who ain't trying to do right. If you unrighteous, you ain't trying to do right. And if you're righteous, you're trying to do right. I hope that makes it easy. That's simple, right? All right. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them. Now we know what integrity is, and that's going to bring you to great success. All right. So what is treachery then? So we're going to take a look at what treachery is. I'm going to copy it just in case something went bad and I didn't get the just in case something went bad and I did not get. Oh, I didn't copy it. And I didn't look it up. Treachery. Treachery. When I looked the word up, I was kind of grossed by it. Treachery. I was like, what the heck? Treachery. Let me just put it in here because I don't see it right on the top. Treachery. This is treacherous, but it'll get to treachery. Oh, I did have it saved.
Treacherous.
Treacherous. Treacherous is likely to betray trust. A treacherous person is likely to befriend you, try to hang out with you, and then when you need him, they're unreliable. They can't even show up for you. That's treachery, right? The other part of treachery had to do with this part where it says they betray trust. You think that they on your side, you think they with you, but they take your ideas and tell them to other people, so they try to steal your ideas. You think they on your side, they treacherous. They betray your trust. You tell them all your secrets, and they gonna tell your secrets to other things because you have an intimacy. You work with them, but then they're gonna take your things that you. It's not bad. It's just you feel bad about it. It's like, man, and they're gonna take that and betray your trust. That's a treacherous person. Providing insecure footing or support. A treacherous person is always providing. It's like they like sinking sand. They're always trying to put something up to keep you unstable. They try to keep you off balance. Treacherous people. My God. Treacherous people. They don't want you to be on support. It said quicksand, right? Marked by hidden dangers and hazards. Treacherous people got so much stuff and schemes about it. They're marked by hidden dangers and hazards, things that cause pain and destruction and perils. It's horrible things. Perils. What was that? Let's look at that word. Perils. That's a word we don't use that much. Perils. What is it? Exposure to risk of being injured, destroyed, or lost. It's perilous times. And in these perilous times, we can be injured, destroyed, or lost at any moment. It's dangerous out there, y'all. I'm just messing with y'all. Exposure to liability, injury. But because we walk with the Most High, no weapon shall come nigh our dwelling. We have promises that, for the most part, we protected. We covered. We covered under the blood. We covered by God's favor and love. We covered. The righteous people are. But the treacherous people, it said, but the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them. They think they're getting over on you, but they don't understand that is going to be their demise. It's going to be a problem for them. It's going to cause them to have destruction, right? It's going to mess them up. So you don't want to be crooked or treacherous. Wealth does not profit in the day of wrath. I like that. Wealth does not profit in the day of wrath. I had to kind of give some idea, but what does that mean, that wealth does not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death? Okay, wealth does not profit. You got money, but if it's the day of the Lord, if it's the day of God's judgment, He's judging you for what you and I have done, whether our good deeds or our righteous deeds are on point. He's looking at us to see. He's looking at our heart, and if our righteous heart, if our heart is not righteous, if it's not loving, if it's not kind, if it's not in alignment with God, then it's going to cause a problem. Look what it says here. It says that the wealth does not profit in the wrath. Now, so you got all this stuff going on, and you're going to think you're going to give God a bribe? You think you're going to give the judge a bribe? Actually, you're going to take it? Because if you are not righteous and you're not godly, so your wealth can't do nothing for you. When the judgment really come, you ain't got enough money. Ask some of them rich people who went in there and took their life because they realized they thought they can get away with it. The day of wrath refers to divine punishment in this life. The punishment in this life. And what is really divine punishment in this life is consequences for your errors, buddy. Young folk, man, if you out there doing grimy stuff, that stuff is going to come back to you. If you mistreating people along the way, whatever you do to others, it's going to come back to you. And sometimes it come back to you worse. So you want to try to do, but the work, it works both ways. Righteousness and not wealth is more valuable in anticipating judgment. If you know it's going to be a judgment, you'd rather have righteousness than to have some money, because money ain't going to get the judge off of you, right? But righteousness delivers from death. Or it might get the judge off of you in a corrupt system. We have some corrupt systems and some judges that are corrupt. But we pray God that it doesn't happen on a regular. Wealth does not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. So if you got a case and it's going to be, they're going to be checking your record and see what you're doing. If you got some righteousness, that might deliver you from separation from the population. It might keep you separated. Death would be like, I went to jail and we don't see you anymore. That could be that kind of death one, or it could be death that I transition and I don't see you no more. But righteousness delivers you from whatever it is, but it's probably the one like here, keeps you from getting cut off from things. The righteousness of the blameless will make their way smooth. All right, when you cool with people and you right and you straight with people right up front with them, you're not coming with no craziness, right? It says basically right. The righteous, the concrete image is about making a road level. So righteousness makes the road level before you, right? It makes it smooth before you. It makes things go way better. Because if you're treating people right, treating people with kindness, treating people with respect, honoring them, if you letting them know how wonderful they are, yeah, your road is gonna be better. You're not putting flattery on it. You just declaring what it is. They are son and daughter of God just like you. They're blessed just like you. They have favor just like you if they're walking in it. So you just want to bless them and bless yourself. It says it represents an easier way. The people who are righteous, they have an easier way in life. It does not mean an easy life in all respects. Tell Jesus that. He didn't have an easy life in all respects, but he was doing right stuff. He was a righteous person, right? So it's not going to always be easier, but it is going to have much more meaning. If it's rough, it's rough for meaning, right? But means that the integrity removes some obstacles and hardships in life. When you're integral, you're solid, you're straightforward with people, it gets rid of barriers and blockages and hardships in life. And integrity is the right choice for how you want to live. You want to live your life with integrity. It's a high honor. My wife says to me, she said, Omar, you have the highest level of integrity I've known among people, period. You have a high level of integrity. And I count that a high honor. Because I want to be solid. I want to be, integral. I want to be honest. I want to be straightforward. I want you to see you get what you get when you get Omar. You get all this. You get all this with Omar. But I want you to know I'm striving to live that godly life, that righteous walk, right? So there it is. So let's go back to the text and try to get out of here quickly. The righteous of the upright will deliver them, but the treacherous will be ensnared by their own desires. So if you're righteous, we know what righteous is. That will deliver you. I said like earlier, it said it's going to take you from death, right? It's going to keep you from death, deliver from death, and the righteousness of the blameless will make your way smooth. You do right things, it's smooth. But the wicked fall through their own wickedness. Yeah, they become, the wicked get snatched up by their own wickedness. They get trapped. They get ensnared. It says the righteousness of the upright will deliver them. It will keep them out of trouble. But the treacherousness, we know what that is now, will ensnare. It will trap you. I think it says it will capture you, make you captive, make you a slave. It will overpower you and make you a slave. You do keep on doing treacherous work, and at the end of the day, it's going to overpower you and take you captive and make you a slave, right? By their own desires. It's going to do it by the things that you like. You so evil, you so treacherous, you're going to get the very things that you like with your evil ways, right? And it's going to bring you destruction. It's going to entrap you. It's going to entrap you. It said the ambition of entraps them. But in the disaster of the disaster of the treacherous, they will be caught. They will be snatched up. It ain't nothing going to take them out of it. The treacherous will be ensnared in their desire, for the treacherous will be caught in their disasters. Their desires are so dark and evil, it turns into a disaster. I can easily see something like that. Say, what about the darkness of crack cocaine, right? So you think at first you go, whoa, yeah, it feels good, right? At first, right? But you don't know that thing is going to keep on hounding you and then making you its slave instead of you being the master of it. So it's trying to tell you something. We got to be very, very mindful, and that's just with something that's kind of easy to do. Crack cocaine. It could be sex. It could be addiction to praise. You just got to have somebody talking about you and saying good about you all the time. But it's going to lead to your desert. It's just your destruction. It says when a wicked person dies, his expectations perishes. All the things that a wicked person dies, it said when a wicked person dies. When the righteous dies, hope does not perish, but boasting by the ungodly perishes. The spirit of the saying is similar to the Hebrew. Perhaps it goes on to say what the translators wanted to see the hope of the righteous fulfilled in the world to come. However, they may not have tried to address the conceptual problem that arises from a literal reading of the Hebrew. When a wicked person dies, hope dies too. When a wicked person dies, their hope dies. Their hope perishes. Yeah, now I get it. When a wicked person dies, their hope perishes. All that thing they do with, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that, it's just over with. But when righteous people die, sometimes people pick up the cause and keep it moving, right? A righteous person was delivered out of trouble. So a righteous person is more likely to get delivered out of trouble than an unrighteous person, right? Yeah. Yes, indeed, absolutely. Yes. It says a righteous person was delivered out of trouble. When a wicked person took his place, a righteous person was delivered out of trouble. And then instead of the trouble that was going to come on that righteous person, a wicked person is going to get that trouble that was going to come on a righteous person, because righteous people do righteous things and they get delivered by the Most High. They get snatched up, they get taken, they get prepared, they get washed over. It says, with the speech of the godless person destroys his neighbor. The wicked person took his place. With the speech of the godless person destroys his neighbor. Let me see. I need a little bit of help on that. With the mouth, okay. With the mouth mouth functions, okay. With the mouth or the speech of a godless person. What about that person? Impious, godless, polluted, profane. Okay. A hypocrite. A hypocritical person. Yeah. You look one way for one thing and then another. Yeah. One who conceals his evil under the appearance of godliness or kindness. This one is a false flatterer. So, wow, all that was in there. The speech of the godless person, destroyed, because he's a false flatterer, right? The neighbor, and he does that to his neighbor, but by knowledge, the righteous will be delivered. What kind of knowledge is the righteous going to have to be delivered? Antithetical, the Proverbs states that the righteous person can escape devastating slander. All right. The righteous person can escape devastating slander though through knowledge. The righteous person can escape devastating slander through knowledge. The righteous will have sufficient knowledge and perception to see through the hypocrisy and avoid the effect. Now, I told you about this, I think, on episode 10, but how this woman had accused me of sexual harassment, and so with that, and that was slander, right? But they didn't know what I knew. I knew that I had integrity. I knew that I lived righteous. So what I had to do, even though it had to be put on the codes and raked through the codes or through HR and all that kind of stuff, but I knew that I knew, and the reason why I was doing righteous, because I know that God blesses those people who do righteous, and he allows the circumstances to overcome people who don't do righteous, who are not righteous. So I was going to always try to be right. So she coming at me with that, all that kind of stuff, it was painful, man. I had to go through a lot, with my wife and trust issues, all that kind of stuff. Because the righteous will have sufficient knowledge, right, and perception to see through the hypocrisy and avoid its effect. I saw what the person was doing, but I had to stand on my integrity. And then later on, I got the confession that, yeah, we were trying to jack you up. When the righteous do well, the city rejoices. Righteousness causes everybody, when righteousness is going on, when people are doing right by each other, they doing business right, everything succeeds. Everything has good fortune, because we all have goodwill to one another, right? And so it's making it said that the city rejoices. But when the wicked perish, there is joy. Why is there joy when the wicked perish? Because they were raising hell on people. People are happy that them wicked people are gone, and they stop being in control of their lives. That's why they rejoice, right? A city is exalted by the blessing provided from the upright, but it is destroyed by the counsel of the wicked. Look, the blessings are godly, righteous sayings, well wishes and thoughts. You using your words to create a wonderful experience. The blessing comes, the righteous speaks blessing over people, right? It comes from the upright. Upright people speak blessings over situations and people. But those people who speak evil, who are destroyers, but the evil people, the wicked people, they speak curses over it. You ain't never going to make it happen. They step like, oh, it's going to be bad. They cursing instead of blessing. And that's why they get what they receive, because they put those words out there, they put those vibrations out there, and it causes a problem. The one who denounces his neighbor lacks sense. If you're going around doing this, if you're going around, despises, if you're going around despising your neighbor, right? To despise is to show contempt for someone. It reflects an attitude of pride and judgmentalism. In view of the parallel line that we're reading, in this situation, it would reflect perhaps some public denouncement of another person. According to Proverbs and the Bible as a whole, how one treats a neighbor is an important part of righteousness. How one treats a neighbor is an important part of righteousness. I got to say that again. According to Scripture, ancient Scripture, all ancient Scripture has to do how one treats the person who they see before them is important. Is an important part of righteousness. In fact, it said, "How can you love God if you don't love your neighbor? How can you love? How can you love your How can you love God who you can't see if you can't love your neighbor who you can see? Right? How can you can't? It's impossible, right? So how one treats a neighbor is important. Is an important part of righteousness. One who expects to be good or be a good neighbor and to protect the safeguard the life and reputation of a neighbor, that one can expect blessings. You going around talking bad about your neighbor, could be your cousin, could be your nephew, whoever your neighbor is. Your neighbor is somebody you live in proximity to. The one who goes about slandering others reveals secret. Slanderers tell secrets with the intent to hurt the individual who they're telling secrets on. They all full of lies and half-truths. But the one who trustworthy conceals a matter. I call myself the dead end. He said the one who trustworthy described the inner nature of the person as faithful and trustworthy, right? The individual will not rush out and tell whatever information he has heard about but he will conceal it. A lot of people try to come to me with gossip and stuff like that, and I'd be like, man, no, I ain't saying nothing. I'm not spreading that on. In fact, I didn't even hear it. Or somebody come to me and tell me they confessing their sin one to another, say, I missed the mark, I did this, but here's what happened. It comes to me, I'm going to dead end. You got that off of you, I'm going to bless you because you confessed it, and it's gone. I'm not going to bring that up again. I don't want you to bring my stuff up on me either. So, an untrustworthy, slanderous person is going to reveal your secrets, right? But the one who's trustworthy conceals the matter, covers it up. When there is no guidance, a nation falls. Another version says, where there's no vision, the people perish. And I looked that up, it had to do with, if there's no guidance, if there's no one giving some kind of direction or guidance or steering or helping them, thus spiritual guidance is like steering a ship. Here, the ship of state. So if there's no one providing spiritual guidance or teaching, even like what we're doing right now, if no one is providing these kind of teachings for people, right, then the nation is going to fall because there's no one passing on wisdom, helping people to have integrity, helping people to have the things that make a society go. The society goes to pot, as they say, goes to hell, as they say, if everybody's going to the wicked way. So we have to have some guidance. We have to have somebody teaching, right? But their success, it says, but there is success in the abundance of counselors. When you have there's victory there, there's deliverance there, there's safety there. When you have a lot of people who are working with you, said the antithesis of the nation falling. The setting could be one of a battle or economics. Victory or success will be more likely with good advice. This assumes that the counselors are wise. Of course, you want to have wise counselors. So you want to have some. Without guidance, you're going to fail. You're going to have great success if you have many counselors, some people who know what they're talking about. Don't invest with people who don't know what they're talking about. The one who has put up security for a stranger will surely have trouble. We talked about that a long time. I won't spend a whole lot of time on it. It just means if you're going to be a co-signer for somebody else and you don't hardly know them, that can be troublesome. Get out of that situation as quick as possible, because that can be a problem down the street where it will hurt. It'll hurt everybody. The hurt in the case will be financial responsibility for a bad risk. That's what the idea is. If you're talking about you secure for somebody, they take out a loan in your name and they default on the loan and you got to take it up. Now his name is bad and your name is bad too. But whoever avoids shaking hands is secure. So and that means shaking hands like making a deal with somebody who ain't really right. The imagery here is shaking hands to seal a contract. But a contract that should never have been made because it was a contract that was based on inequality. So you don't want to get caught up in that. But whoever avoids shaking hands, making those contracts, they're the ones that got security because they know their money is there. They ain't got to worry about it. They ain't got to worry about if the person going to take it or they're going to leave it. It applies specifically to the issue of putting up security for another, not all the rest of life. A person who avoids this bad decision has no worries about the consequences because you didn't do it. So you're not going to have any consequences, right? So that's a good one. You want to learn that. Take some time. If that was too fast, go back and meditate on that because that's really good stuff right there. A generous woman gains honor, but a ruthless man seizes wealth. Well, this is good too, because a generous person is someone who gives up. They give things. It's like a woman who is not only grateful, but generous and powerful men. So these are two terms they're trying to get. But I'm going to tell you about the powerful men next. But the woman who is not only graceful, but gracious, she gives. The term usually having, so she gives, right? So the gracious woman gains honor because she's a giver. The ruthless man seizes wealth. So there's the ungodly, ruthless person who just those who are terrifying, they're like tyrants. They strike terror into the hearts of their victims. The term refers to ruthless person who uses violence to overcome his victims. People, all kinds of stuff happen. People do the shakedown on you. They use violence. They're intimidating you. these ruthless people, they take wealth. They do. They do. But it's they take wealth. Look, who virtue makes a throne of dishonor. Who hates she who hates virtue makes a throne of dishonor. All right. So in this case right here, it takes the wealth of the righteous. It is in an illegal way. A kind person benefits himself. Kindness is a big deal. According to this, kindness is also loyalty. You want to have people who are loyal to you, because if you have somebody who's loyal to you, and that you are loyal, and you need to be loyal to people, because if you have that kind of relationship going on, this is in contrast to a person who's cruel, and fierce, and not showing love and kindness. The consequences is craziness, right? So what you want to do is you want to be a kind person, because kindness has its own reward. It's to deal fully and adequately. A kind person will benefit themselves, right? It has its own rewards. Kindness has its own benefits, and it benefits the person who is kind, right? But a cruel person brings himself trouble. You going around being cruel, now you don't have no friends. You going around being cruel, you bringing trouble in your own house, right? Trouble to your own body, right? Right. It says there may be a conscious effort by a sage to contrast the soul and the body. All right, that's good. Let me explain what that is right here. A cruel person brings trouble to his. A kind person brings benefit to himself. Himself is his soul, right? A cruel person brings himself trouble. So he brings trouble to his body. Things, people want to take him out. People want to do people wrong. When you're a cruel person, all kinds of things come towards your way. A wicked person earns deceitful wages. What wicked people get, they earn deceitful wages. But the one who sows righteous acts reaps genuine reward. So you're going to reap what you sow, more than you sow, later than so. It's important for us to sow good and solid seed among people, right? So that we can get a good reward, right? So we can have good stuff come our way, right? The wages of the wicked are deceptive. The reward of the righteous are sure. All right, that's basically what it's saying. True righteousness leads to life. If you have true righteousness, it's going to lead to a life that's worth living, a life that does not have any shame in it. A life that's supplied everything it needs. A life that has smoothness in it, right? True righteousness is going to do that. But the one who pursues evil pursues it to his own death. Look, it's talking about do you have an evil mind, right? The one who has the only thing they got a twisted mind. They only think about ganging people, taking people, just twisted. And people can they don't start out twisted, but they can get distorted along the way. It could have been something happened to their family. Family trauma could have caused them to become evil and mean. You don't know what it is. But true righteous people leads to life and a better quality of life. But the one who pursues evil pursues it to their own death. It takes them out. It's just like when you just do evil, evil come back to you as a form of death. The Lord hates those who have a perverted heart. The Lord hates people who twist the righteous thing. They have twisted minds. Their mentality is turned toward evil things. They only thing can think of doing something evil continuously. The Lord does not like that. He abhors it. He hates that. Because that is the direct opposite of what He created you to be. He created all of us to be loving, but if we're going around being hating, that's a problem. Be assured that the evil person will not be unpunished. Be assured that the evil person will not go unpunished. This is a very important. Be assured that the evil person will not go unpunished. You know what? I have a friend, right? And my friend has this thing. He can't stand people who get away with evil. He who lifts up his hand against his neighbor will go unpunished. Will not go unpunished. He can't stand it. When people do evil and they get away with it, he just be mad. But what happened? He does not remember that the evil person will not go unpunished. They will not. They will be found guilty, and they won't have anything at the end of the day. They will not go unpunished. So don't be worried about whether God's going to judge them. You keep on your path. Don't worry about even if you know. Sometimes it's wise to keep your mouth closed and don't say anything about it and let it unfold over time. You don't want to be jumping in and trying to do something and then and mess up God's plan of how He's going to check. He's going to check and bring a judgment on wickedness. He's going to be punished, right? He's going to allow the consequences to come upon the person who does that. The descendants of the righteous have escaped harm. If you keep on being a righteous folk, most of the stuff that harm people, that take them down, they escape from harm, whether the threat of harm or of a harmful situation, he or she already is protected. Already has, protection around them because their good deeds have protected them, because what goes out will also come back to you, right? So that's what it's talking about here in terms of they will escape harm. A gold ring in a pig's snout. Can you imagine that? A nice, pretty gold ring in a snout of a pig. Now, a pig is going to, that gold ring, he's going to be in there getting it all in the mud, doing all that kind of stuff, because to a pig, a gold ring doesn't mean anything, right? A nice gold ring in a pig's snout is beautiful. Is a beautiful woman who rejects discretion. Wait a minute, I read that wrong. A gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman who rejects discretion. Got it. So if you're even though you can be a fine wine, beautiful person, right? But if you lack discretion, if you don't have the ability, it has to do with taste or physical taste, but it has also to do with if you don't have moral sensibility, if you don't have propriety of knowing what's good taste and what's bad taste, right? If you don't have that, here's what it says: one who rejects discretion is like a pig, a swine. If the person has beauty, its value is wasted on and overshadowed by their piggishness. That's crazy. So a beautiful woman who rejects discretion, with a gold ring. Oh, so he's saying that a gold ring in the pig's snout is like a beautiful woman who rejects discretion, and a person who rejects discretion is like a swine. That if a person has beauty, its value is wasted on the overshadowed by their piggishness, their dirtiness, their willingness to get down dirty and gritty and grimy. All right. That's not cool on the woman. It's not cool on the man either. The desire of the righteous is only good. Righteous people only want good things that happen to people. But the expectation of the wicked is wrath. Look at this. The expectation of the wicked is wrath. That means you keep on doing wrong. It says, implying that whatever the wicked hope is turned out, that they will receive wrath. They thought they were going to get something for what they're doing, but they're going to receive judgment. They're going to receive chastisement. They're going to receive something. So the wicked perish. They're going to perish. So it's really this crazy thing. I think I'm just really getting it, you guys. I'm getting it. The ancients saw the world differently. They saw the world divided between the righteous and the wicked. So the righteous are the people who use wisdom to gain understanding and knowledge and to gain power over the world. The wicked try to gain power over the world, but they do it through evil and wicked and devices, but they don't know that doesn't work. One person is generous and yet grows wealthy, but the other withholds more and he should. The other withholds more than he should and comes to poverty. That was cool too. When I studied that, this is basically saying the person who is generous, they give away, and God blesses them and gives them to give more. If God can get it to you, if God can get it through you, He'll get it to you. If He can get it through you to be a blessing to other people, He'll get things to you. So the righteous people, when they give away, things come back to them. But the wicked, they hold, they're trying to hoard it, they're trying to protect it, they're trying to keep it. And say all that protection is no investment in it. And because they're not giving, they can't get anything back. So they become poor and it becomes poverty for them. Did you know that? Not being a stingy person diminishes your life. The person who withholds will come to the diminishing of his wealth. The verse uses hyperbole to teach that giving to charity does not make anyone poor. Neither does refusal to give ensures prosperity. Wow. A generous person will be enriched. The one who provides water for others will himself be satisfied. Now, this is the second time it talks about the value and the virtue of generosity. And generosity has to do with, one aspect of generosity has to do with something that a lot of people don't want to deal with. And that's kindness. When you're generous, you're kind. You're generous with compliments, you're generous. And you will be, because of your generosity, you will grow fat. It's not talking about fat like fat, but it's talking about you will grow like a person who has abundance. If you're generous with your love, generous with your compliments, generous with your money, generous with your time. If you're generous, it's like and the one who provides water for others. If you're giving wisdom out, if you're helping people to get wisdom, get understanding, get health, get nourishment, get the kind act will be reciprocated. It means to be reproduced. What you give out, you're going to be a recipient of. What you give out, you're going to be a recipient of what you give in. If you give out love, if you give out water, the most essential thing in life, if you give out encouragement, then what's going to happen is the others will himself be satisfied. When you give out, God satisfies the giver, but the person who withholds, it says the person will curse the one who withholds. Now this was deep when I read this. This was like, if you had a business, right? If you have a business, and because this giving out does not mean just giving out, it also means selling. Like if you have a business and you know that the thing that you sell is just going higher and higher and higher, and you're just trying to hold on to it until it goes to a high price so that you can force people to pay these high prices. And if you do that kind of stuff, that people will curse you. Okay, I got to pay this money, but they curse the person who withholds for ill-gotten gain. But they bless the person who says, you know what, I realize it's a time, let me make this available to people, and let me make it at a reasonable price so they can get, what they need, and I can re-up so I can give some more to them as we go forward. See, there's an ethics to living that we don't even know about because we've been operating just in what feels good to us. So, but they will praise the one who sells it. You know you got it. You got what the people need. You give it to them in a good right, and you'll be a blessing. The one who diligently seeks good seeks favor. If you keep on doing good, be always after good, God will favor you. If you keep on doing good, good stuff will come back to you. Whoever is seeking good is in effect seeking favor from either God or humanity. If you're just doing good and you're doing good to people, you expect favor to come back to you. I remember when I used to be grimy, I would lose my phones and stuff like that, and they'd be gone. But when I started getting to a better situation, I find people's phones, I give it to them. And I found that when I found people's phones and I gave it back to them, I made sure they got their phone, my phone come back. I never forget I lost a phone in over there by the projects in Los Angeles. What was it? Watts Projects. I can't remember exactly what the name of those projects was. But I lost my phone over there, and I got it back. People were like, "You'll never get that phone back." I got it back because I had been doing righteousness for a long time, and God, just like I was doing, getting stuff back to other people, the stuff came back to me. The one who diligently seeks good seeks favor, but the one who searches for evil, it will come to him. All right. Good seeks good favor. Evil comes to them, and it comes to them as separation and destruction. The one who trusts in the riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like the green leaf. The one who troubles his family will inherit nothing. I got to talk about this. Look at what this said here. The one who makes life difficult for one's family will be cut out of the family inheritance. And that's not only from the family, but that's God's inheritance to that family. If you're doing that to your family, that's crazy, right? So the one who troubles the family will inherit nothing. You lose everything when you go and you're messing up, and you're messing up your house, and you're messing up the people in your house. Mm. It turns your wealth turns to something that can't even be grasped. You won't even be able to take hold of what you have because your wickedness went ahead of you, and now you jacking up the family and jacking up the energy of the family, so things can't go and flow like they're supposed to for your family. The fool here is the troubler, the one who troubles the house. That's a foolish person, and it says that the fool will become the servant of the wise person. The person who is wise, who has a wise mind, who functions in, has a wise mentality, and learns some wisdom, that person right there is going to become the boss of the fool. The fruit of the righteous is like a tree producing life. A tree producing life. What the righteous produce is like a fruit, like a tree of life. Long life, healthy life, as well as life-giving influence and provision to others. The fruit of the righteous is like a tree that bears life, right? And the one who wins soul is wise. What this is saying is that the person who provides life and health and all that, gives encouragement to people, that person is it becomes an authoritative witness. That person becomes that person becomes the one who wins souls, who win people to the way of righteousness. And I'm trying to do this right now. I'm trying to win you to the way of right living. So it says that person, the one who wins souls is wise. That person can get blessings. That person can get encouragement. That person can put out blessings and receive blessings. If the righteous are recompensed on earth, how much more will the wicked and sinner? So if the righteous, God take care of the righteous on earth, how much more are you going to take care of the wicked and judge and let their evil ways and their evil deeds come upon them, right? All right. I'm tired. I had a long day today, you guys. So there it is. Keep your hands clean and your heart pure. You cannot go wrong with that. This is Uncle Omar, Pastor Omar. I got a little preachy there, so I got a preacher Omar too.